Good morning. I'm sorry, locals. I went to adjust camera settings, but if I did, it would have counted as a stream. So I stupidly started, you know what, I need coffee. I can't think. I can't communicate. Yes. I needed some coffee. I hadn't had any yet. I'm like trying to talk to people. Just woke up. Irritated, no big deal. Tried to fix the blown out effect on my locals camera, and the camera was already in use by locals. So had I undid it, it would have counted that as a stream, and at the end of the month I would have ran out of streams. So I decided not to do it. I'm going to do it when I'm done because I got the app up in order to do it, I guess. Hi guys, good morning. I'm still so bummed. My fucking cat is dead. I'm so tired. This is probably the hardest live stream I think I've ever done, is this one. Because my brain ain't working. It's like, no bitch. No, it's not working. Avon has a new person that does all our live streams and features all our makeup. It's this dude. I haven't watched any of his stuff. Thanks, guys. Just tired. I wish I had more energy. Like, I am not feeling it for you guys today. I'm really sorry. Your brain isn't either. Good. Good. We can be brainless half-wits together, I suppose. Hello. There it is. Curry Road, Avon. So we have a sale today. It ends at noon on, what do you call it? I want to say New York time. It's Eastern Standard Time. If you buy $100 or more and you use the code HAUL100 or HAUL150 for 150 or more. I can't do this. What is wrong with me? I'm done. Maybe I should just leave, guys. This ain't my day. It's not my day. I am like mentally not here. I feel like I didn't sleep. I am like confused and disoriented, which is weird because usually I hit the ground running. Sorry I was late, but clearly shit ain't working out for me right now. I was looking at a local adoption agency and people are so mad at these people. Share my stream on Facebook if you can. It would really help. People are mad at this adoption agency because they don't want to adopt cats to 8 years old and younger. I have always believed cats are not an appropriate pet for 8 years old and under. They're not pack animals. They're finicky. They might scratch your face. Kids are rough. And if you have to sit there and be like, play nice, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have to militantly oversee it, at one point, the kid is going to torture the cat. You know how I know? I was a kid, and we tortured the cats. And by torture, I mean everything the cat didn't like and didn't want in its life was happening because kids had it. So everyone doesn't like this adoption agency because they're like, these cats need home. And I'm like, but dude, like 8 years old and under makes sense. At 8 years old, you understand, dude, I'm hurting this fucking cat. You know what I mean? Underneath it, you're like, this is such great fun. No, I'm not adopting yet. It has to be perfect. So my cats were half Maine Coon. I am very spoiled. I really like that breed. I clearly cannot afford a full Maine Coon cat. Like, I have a friend, and I tell her all the time, because she's like, oh, like, you know, you don't have a pot to piss in, but you're going to save for a $3,000 cat. There's no way. Like, even when I had tons of money, I don't think I could justify a $3,000 cat. Like, is that cat gonna poop diamonds? I know people are mad at the agency, but I'm like, dude, cats aren't a kid-friendly thing. It's weird. You've got 2 streams on Facebook. I don't know what that means. I have 1 stream through 1 phone, so I don't understand what that means. But since my brain isn't working, by all means, I'm ready to be even more confused and frustrated. My existence. Hi, from the shit show we call Australia. Yeah, there's only 1 stream on Facebook. So, and then I have 1 on locals. It better clean its own letterbox. Yeah, $3,000. Now, I want a Maine Coon mix. I want it. Because I've 18 years of having it. So, I'm not going to find one. You know what I mean? I'm not going to find a Maine Coon mix. I don't live in a city. I don't want an older cat. Everyone's like, adopt older. We adopt Luna. She wasn't a puppy. We adopted her older. I want a kitten. I just went through fucking hell with kitty nursing home and all that shit. I want a kitten. And I want a mixed Maine Coon because I know what I'm getting. And I'm never going to get it. And I don't want anything else. I want at least 1. I've been too spoiled, man. Dude, no, I'm very selective. I don't just want rambunctious kittens. So, I believe in adopt, don't shop, right? I also believe shopping's fine because you know what you want, right? You know what you want. Do you know what you want? Yes. I want a black dress. Get a pink dress. But I don't like pink. I want the black dress. You know what I mean? So you know what the demeanor is. So let's say I was going to get a puppy. I would want to get a Shetland sheepdog. Why? Because I would train it to herd my kittens. Well, just get any puppy. But you can't just train any puppy, or my chickens. I think I said kittens. You can't just train any puppy to herd chickens. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, you're not training a golden doodle. Well, a Maine Coon Ragdoll mix is an even more. You're narrowing the pool even more. I'm like a Maine Coon. So my babies were Maine Coon mixed with, like, clearly for Sergeant Pepper, because he's got blue eyes and everything, with a little Siamese. But that was just alley cat. First time in months. Oh, I'm shadow banned here, so you have to go to the 3 little dots on my page, click it, and choose to see it all the time. So yeah, I'm not getting a Maine Coon Ragdoll mix because they don't exist out here. You're narrowing the pool to an even more unbelievable thing. The likelihood of that happening is almost 0. I will never own anything again. But yeah, it's funny because this lady that works with the chick that I adopted my cats from was like, you're going to want a Maine Coon mix. And it's funny because she didn't remember that's what I got. You know what I mean? She didn't remember, but the main lady who runs the adoption place, she knew what I got, and she's like, oh, you're going to be spoiled for the rest of your life because you had a mixture of Maine Coon. So she doesn't run a rescue anymore, but what she does do is she kept all the feral cats that no one wanted. So she's like a fucking quintessential hardcore cat lady. And she had a Amazon wish list, which of course is only full of things for these cats. So I gotta get this hair out of my eye. I mean, it's so bad. I don't see how I do my makeup or anything until I get this flushed out. Almost. I mean, it's so bad, you guys. I think I got it. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. I am just mentally not here this morning. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just crying for days. It's just short-circuited me. But yeah, I want a Maine Coon mix. And it doesn't matter what it's mixed with. Well, I have a German Shepherd, and she doesn't do that. She is a very obedient and good girl, and I got your joke. Heard it with her mouth. She'll listen to us say, don't kill them. You know? She'll look at us like, kill chickens? And Matt's like, no, Luna, you can't do that. And she's like, oh, no, kill chickens. Like, so we've trained her not to kill the chickens. But that's, you know, as far as we can get with herding. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Which is funny because I stream the day after I kill my cat. And then it takes a couple more days and I just feel like the life is pulled right out of me. I bought 2 toy poodles because I wanted poodles. Poodles are intelligent. I like the fact that there's breeders because I think pure bloodlined golden retrievers, I think they're fucking beautiful, guys. Pure bloodline Norwegian forest cats, that's amazing. Why would you dilute that? If, let's say, if I was a rich chick, I would get a Maine Coon, a full one, and then I had asked my husband, how many cats is too many cats? And he knows I'm hurting. And he's like, what do you need, honey? Like, what do you need? I'm like, so if I was a rich woman and I could get a full Maine Coon kitten, then I would go rescue 2 more. Be like, I did my duty. I have a full Maine Coon and I've got this. I like Tom Green. He's one of the few celebrities. Dude, I went to his house when he had his Tom Green show at his house. And he took me all over his house. Let's do some makeup today. Some makeup today. Our deal today is haul 100, haul 150. So haul 100, haul 150 codes. These codes work until noon today, Eastern time. So if you spend $150 and you use this code, haul 150, you're getting a ton of free shit, which is nice. I mean, I'm looking at it. You're getting both of these, which is great. Ooh, you're getting that Isonox cream face wash, which is also great. I'm a big fan of that shit. It's nice. Won't lie. I feel a little better with a little coffee. I mean, thanks for dealing with me. Oh, her house was ripe. I rescued a kitten. And I brought my friend with me. And we went into this house. And it was a hoarder house. And the smell. Like, you could feel the fleas jumping onto your ankles. I was mortified. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a kitten. It was right after Sergeant Pepper died. This was Asshole Fuckface of America cat, or a.k.a. Billy Shears. But when I walked into that house and I saw the squalor they were living in, I was like, I need to get this cat. It was intense. I was like, you don't need this many animals because it's hard to keep up with. It wasn't a bad house. It's just once one animal gets fleas, the rest of them do, and then, you know. It's like, so I'll be taking this cat. Rejuvenating serum. I need to rejuvenate my face. Guys, it's busted. It's broken. It ain't looking good. I have ripped out all my eyelashes because I take Kleenexes and I push them into my eyes and I just cry my eyes out. My husband's like, you let me know when you need me to quit streaming to be there for you. I'm like, dude, I'm crying all day. I am fucked up all day. Like, you gotta work, kid. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and make you be up my ass all day. Like, I don't know when this is going to end. And I told him, I'm like, I haven't felt like this since my grandma died. And I'm like, and one of my oldest friends in life just died. And I love the fuck out of her. And it hurt. But this is like fucking me up. And that's when my husband was like, dude, this cat touched you like flesh to flesh. Like 75% of your day every day. And I realized like my day for 18 years, my day, oh, it feels so much better with the serum on, has consisted of being with this cat. So they say you can use this brand new Isonox Ultimate Rejuvenating Multi-Corrector Serum for a primer. So that's what I'm going to do today. What do you guys think? Like this, you're supposed to be able to put it in fine lines and wrinkles, but they said it could also be used as a primer, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use it as a primer. I think go for it. Thanks, guys. I can feel my skin crawling. I've been into some houses. When I used to do drugs, I was still OCD, so I'm at this druggy house. And it was so gross. And I just started cleaning it. My dad used to work at Clorox. I went home. I come back, and I'm, like, cleaning this house. And the rest of the druggies came to pick up drugs, and they're like, holy shit, dude. Wow. Like, because it wasn't gross. I'm like, dude, if we're going to, like, fucking do heroin and stuff and, like, drop 6 triple dip blotters of LSD golden Buddhas in here, it's gonna be clean. Like, I ain't playing this game again. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this chick? I'm like, I am the chick that's on drugs because I'm fucking sad my life's fucked up, not because I'm a loser. Clearly I still can't sit down and I still get shit done while on drugs. Eye serum, I love this eye serum. It's really good with puffy eyes. It's really good with under eye bags and fine lines and wrinkles. Oh, and I just need it in my life. I know what I look like, guys. It happens. We can't win every day, okay? This is just that day. I'm not winning today. And yeah, locals. I am going to adjust the camera. I can't do it now because I can't open the app because locals is using my camera. I have the light on very low. Usually I have it like way brighter, which is great for makeup application, but I don't want to be so blown out for you guys. So I put it a little lower, and I promised I'll adjust it. Tom Green's story. Sorry. Thank you. My brain isn't there, so I really appreciate you. So I go to his house, and it's a beautiful house. This is why he's able to do what he does. He bought his house in the peak of his fame. I'm going to guess, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the house he shared with Drew Barrymore at the time. But I'm going to guess this is like a $15 million house, maybe 8. I don't know. It's big. It's very big. It's very beautiful. And he gives me this full tour. And he's so personable and so kind and doesn't think of himself in any way other than like a giving and caring host of a guest. And it was really nice to experience. I'll just say that. I was like, wow, Tom Green's cool. Like, he cared if I had everything I needed. He was like, are you hungry? We can get you food. And the thing was, like, this was just him doing his old Tom Green show in his living room. And MTV really dropped the ball dropping his show because that show was funny. But I was like, this guy has clearly been through the fire of Hollywood and came out like a really good person on the other side. So that is my Tom Green experience. He was so nice and cool. A little eccentric, but you know, what were you expecting? And took me around his house like a guided tour, simply because I was like admiring like architecture or something. And he's like, what are you looking at? I was like, oh, I just, you know, I like houses. Like, I love English Tudors and craftsmen. And he was like, kind of keyed in the moment I was like talking about, you know, cool old Hollywood architecture. And he's like, well, this isn't that old. But, and then he just took me all over the house. I was like, that's pretty cool. It was the best show. He lives a life similar to yours now, except he lives alone. I don't think he should be alone. He's a nice guy. I hope he meets somebody. Let's use the Isonox Ultimate Rejuvenating Balm Stick and just put some extra love all over my nose because I cried and cried. Maybe around my eyes because I cried and cried. I mean, some of those tissues aren't doing me favors. I've learned if you're going to be in mourning, you guys have got to get aloe Kleenexes. Because even the plushest, nicest Kleenexes without the aloe in it, if you're going to be rubbing your face nonstop with it, it's just, you know, curtains for you at a certain point. It's not going to help. I clearly lived in the middle of nowhere for too long. I have no idea who Tom Green is. Tom Green is an old comedian who used to be married to Drew Barrymore for 2 seconds. And he's actually really cool. And he sold everything. He lived in a van for a while. And now he's just living his best fucking life. And I hope he meets somebody because he's a nice guy. How about that? Aloe tissues, agreed, right? My bum is on the cheese. Yes. Okay, one of the funniest things that I've ever seen Tom Green do, there's like a football game or a baseball game going on, and he put himself in this giant blow-up inflatable ball, and he rolls out there and fucks with everyone, and they're so mad that they are like violently trying to kick his ass in this thing. And I mean, I laughed till I wept. And I was younger. I mean, I haven't seen it in years, but I laughed till I wept. And then he made the slut mobile for his parents. His parents woke up, and he had airbrushed all over his dad's car. Chicks having sex. The slut mobile. Yeah. All right, a little VDL primer. Now that we've discussed the slut mobile. So, I want to adopt and I want to love something. But it's got to be right. And it's like I'm torn. I'm so lonely now. When you spend 18 years attached to a creature, your whole day is, what is this creature doing? Does she need me? Especially the last, 2-3 years. She was elderly, so I was always very hyper aware. In the last 6 months, she started going blind and she was deaf. So if I'm cooking and stuff and she's just in there like, meow, meow, I was like, you know, you have to be really aware. Ancient Egypt cat. Trying to not kill my cat all the time. So it became this, my whole life was her. I don't have children, and I do not believe animals are children, but I do believe they're your family. And I clearly clung to this cat as if it was a baby, to fulfill some void in my heart of the children I never had. So, that's what happened there. Me too, my heart is broken. Yeah, it sucks when you lose your babies. It sucks when you lose people. It sucks, but, I mean, I feel like she's an appendage. If that makes sense. Like, losing her is on the level of losing my husband in a way with how involved every day is with her. Clearly, my husband's 80 levels above, but you understand what I mean with the interaction every day of your life for 18 years. You can have a friend that you see twice a week. I had a cat who 75% of the day was on me. On my body. Right. Yeah, I constantly insulted my cat. That's what I do. You should hear what my husband and I say to each other. It's called terms of endearment, dude. The cat fucking scratched my arm. Did you see me throw her out the window? She was fucking mean. She was my mean cat. She was a complete cunt. My husband, who loves the cat, who was sad when the cat died, used to be like, look at this worthless creature. No one loves her because she's a real cunt and she only liked me and him. She only liked us. She tolerated my ex-husband, but that's because he was like manipulating her, giving her like frogwa and all this other shit. Because he was like, this cat, I want this cat to like me. But it was clear when we broke up, I was like, oh, whose cats are they? My cats. But yeah, I mean, I call the dogs stupid and dumb. Luna, you are both stupid and dumb. You know, like, they're animals. They don't know what you're saying. I could be like, I am going to cram this in your asshole. And the dog will wag her tail and be like, you know, they don't fucking know. You sound like that guy from My Cat from Hell who was trying to tell me that, you know, I was hurting the cat's feelings, my old cat, because I called him asshole fuckface of America. And I was like, this fucking hippie weirdo, like, I'm sorry. I don't believe your pets believe English. You know why? I don't believe I can't understand any barks they bark. Nothing. I don't want a robot cat. That is not what I want. Okay. Which one? What shall I put on my face? Maybe I'll do the tigress, or icon, pardon me. Icon. Yeah, that's bright yellow, and it does not look bright yellow on my locals. So I definitely have to fix that camera. That's crazy. Aw, Tina, look at this puppy. Oh my God, is that a palm? Thank you for the tip. Thank you. And what a cute puppy. That's one thing, everyone likes sharing their dogs and cats and stuff with me. I'm really weird. So in the autumn, when I was a little girl, I would get really upset and I would cry when the autumn leaves started falling. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. So I'd get upset and I'd cry because I'm like, there's never going to be like a autumn of 1994 again. This is terrible. So when my cat died, I was like, no one knows how awesome my cat was. So then when you guys are sharing your photos with me of all your babies that have come and gone, I'm looking at them like, now everybody knows how great their baby was. You know, I'm so weird. I'm weird. I know I'm weird. I know I'm weird. Cute pupper, bright. I used to call my dog Shithead, right? I mean, I called my cat Stupid Fucking Mew Mew. She's the Lou. My cat had a million names. Lulu, Mew Mew, the Lou. Stupid fucking Mew Mew. Cunt. But she was my baby. And I'm going to miss her forever, man. She was my baby. Look at that. That's intense. We'll see what we can do with that. Look at what I did to myself, guys. Okay, makeup's done. This is, yeah, I really got to fix locals. The color on the camera, and I will. Sandra, thank you for the 500 stars. Was it the yellow eyes? Is that what did it? Just inspired you? You're like, I'm going to send this bitch money because clearly she doesn't know what she's fucking doing. She's trying to sell makeup. She doesn't know what she's doing. And for all of you who have bought makeup for me, thank you guys. Seriously. Thanks, Keith. I'll put that towards the new kitten fund because even adopting just, you know, some alley cats. And by the way, my half Maine Coon cats, those were alley cats. I just want big cats. Big, huge toms like her brother used to be. Lucy in her prime was 18 pounds. Her brother was 23. And that's how you know half Maine Coon. Half. Lost my mother-in-law and then my almost 20-year-old cat within 9 days of each other. Isn't that crazy? I'm so traumatized now. Lisa, my Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club band, which I'll take this off the wall. This was Lucy's brother. That's Sergeant Pepper. Isn't this great? Sergeant Pepper, my friend got me this in 2016. He died in 2014. This was my boy. Clearly part Siamese. He was 23 pounds. He was massive. He died of ass cancer. And he died, what was it? 5 months before my grandma. And they were both sick, and it was both cancer, and I was just like, bro, like, I don't have it in me for this. This is too much for me. I am just a broken being right now. I can't do this. So I get it. I was like, I love him so much. And what's funny is it's been so long now since he died. 2014 and now. I hate what your memory does. You know, you forget so much stuff. At the time, had you asked me, of the two cats, who's your favorite? I'd be like, oh, hands down, Sergeant Pepper. But Lou was like Sauron. The spirit of Lou endured. And now I'm like, Lou, I've never had an animal last 18 years, let alone one that had been there like every step through my life. So because I work from home, whatever animal I get is going to be amazing. And the street is Memorial Muse. Oh, Memorial Muse. That's kind of great. They're going to have a great home here because I work from home. It's funny, like, this dog kennel that we looked at once was like, hey, you know, how long does your dog wait to go to the bathroom? And I'm like, not at all. Like, we live here. Like, the dog doesn't sit here suffering for hours while we're not here. Dogs are like toddlers. And, you know, no judgment, but it always made me sad when people get dogs and they go to work for 8 hours a day. Because they really are pack animals, so they want to be with you. They're like toddlers. They need you. And then we leave them home that long. It's sad. It's sad because they're really needy. And that's why when you come home, it's like fucking Jesus himself has just come down to the earth. That is how your dog acts, and you know it. Your dog is having seizures. It is so overjoyed. It thought you died. You were gone so long. That dog thought you were dead. It's like, where did this person go? Oh my God. Ooh, this is kind of fun. So I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. Because, like, my heart hurts and I need something to love, and I'm so lonely and I don't know what life is without caring for something, especially the last 4 years. My cat has been particularly needy because she's, so old. So I'm on this routine of constant vigilance, constant care, constant love, and now there's nothing. Oh, thanks, guys. Multi-poos. They're toddlers with fur. And that was another thing. I was thinking, like, should I get a dog? And then I'm like, but we have a dog, We do. We have a dog here. After 18 years of dealing with litter rocks, I'm a little over that. I'm a little over the litter, guys. However, I don't remember a time in my life where litter wasn't part of my life. So I'm all fucked up over here. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. What a weird makeup thing I'm doing today. Icon. I really hope I can pull this together. Because right now it looks weird, doesn't it? Tell me, guys. Looks weird. I can usually pull things together, so let's see. What can I do? Oh. Here's what really sucks. Like, I had a friend like, oh, I want to come visit. I want to see you. And I feel like a dick because, like, I'm so sad and depressed that I just don't feel like I'm good company. Like, I even feel bad for my husband. Because I'm like, dude, like, I'm like Eeyore over here. Like, I just space out and look at walls, and all I can think about is my cat dying. And I, like, struggle, like, I killed her. I killed my cat. I fucking killed my cat. I've thought about fostering. I've thought about it. But again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't foster an older cat. We have a dog. I am not dealing with a cat that's like, meh, 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 and Luna like, I'm traumatized. Why have you done this? Get this. Like, that is not what I'm doing. A lot of people have suggested it. I have had many dogs with cats. Starting at a kitten is great. This dog is terrified of Mew Mew. And it's because Mew Mew wasn't raised with dogs. Aw, Rosemary, thanks for the 250 stars. So when I introduced them, Mew Mew terrorized Luna's life. Terrorized her life. Every moment of my dog's life was a fucking agony because of my cat. Do it again! No, it's not fair to the dog. It's not fucking fair. Hey, remember how terrible that was? It wasn't until the end. At the end of 7 years did my cat and dog finally start trying to just get along. And it's mostly the cat's fault. The dog was nice. The cat was like, I will fucking kill you and I will destroy your world. That was my cat. My cat was a real cunt, guys. And the dog doesn't deserve that again. So everyone that's like, adopt an older cat. I mean, I've thought of senior cats before, but I'll be honest with you, after what I just went through, I don't think I can do it again right now. It is intense. That is intense. It was kitty hospice here. I'm very tired. And I wouldn't mind having another long run with something, you know. But man, what I would give. If someone was like, you know what, we have too many Maine Coons, we'll give you one for a price that makes sense. Like, I'm sorry, if someone said, here's the $600 Maine Coon, I'd be like, wow, $600 is a lot. These motherfuckers are charging $3,000. You are nuts. You're nuts. $600 is like 2 months of car payments. I don't believe for a second that those cats are costing you that much to raise. I still think you'd make a profit off $600 to $800 because I'm not stupid. Jesus, it's so overpriced. But yeah, if I did get a thoroughbred Maine Coon, I'd be like, okay, I got my Maine Coon fixed. I'll go rescue two little scragglers or one, raise them together. There are breed-specific rescues. I do not want an older cat. I'm not doing it to my dog. I don't want an older cat, and that is okay. I don't want it. I feel like I was a hospice nurse, okay, for the last 6 months. It was intense. I just watched something I love very much just waste away into nothing. Hard pass. And everyone's like, get a 4-year-old cat. No, dude. No. No. The dog does not deserve some cat that's going to come in here in the dog sanctuary and then shit all over this poor dog. She's getting old. She's in her 50s in dog years. She old. She's like, bitch, it was fine when I was a puppy and that cat was trying to kill me. I have raised cats before with dogs, and it's kind of great because it makes the cats more dog-like, but they end up getting along instead of it being a deeply traumatic thing for the dog. You know what I mean? What is my other dog going to do? Learn from Luna how to shit all over our floors. I will teach you to eat your own shit and betray mom and dad by pooping on the floor. I will do it. So yeah, I want Luna to raise cats. That's what I want. But the last thing I want is an older cat. They don't get along. It's going to be his central. The cat's going to try to hurt the dog. The dog's sweet. So we'll go up and try to sniff the cat. And the cat's going to embed its fucking claws in my poor dog's face. I'm like, no. She doesn't deserve that. She just had major surgery, too, to remove a tumor. So Luna doesn't need that. She a good girl. That's why. My defense is she a good girl. She is poor Stinky. And she does not need any of that. Finally. You listen to your heart. That's right. My heart will tell me when it happens. My heart will tell me when it happens. I definitely do not want to just grab something and be like, this is it. Because I felt something when I picked up Sergeant Pepper. I locked arms. 32 kittens were brought to my house. I'll never forget it. My friend Georgine brought 32 kittens to my house. Can you imagine? They're everywhere. Some cuter than others, and they're crawling all over me. I was like bathing in kittens, like, yes. It was so amazing. It was probably one of my favorite moments in my life because there's so many fucking kittens. And I was going to choose one kitten. But Georgine, she's a sly little fox, and she knew. She knew if I saw all of the kittens, I was going to be choosing more than just one. So I lock eyes with Sergeant Pepper. I'm like, that is the most beautiful cat. And I pick him up, and he's immediately purring. And I called him Rubber Band Man because he was like, hey. And just like laid in my arms. And I was like, oh my God. I need this cat. Then I noticed this little asshole cat. Clearly distressed that I picked him up. So I put him back down, and she runs behind him like, oh my God. And I'm like, and I looked at Georgine. She's like, they're very bonded. I picked him up again, and she's like, my life is over. So I try to touch her, and she's like, she was very feral. And I'm like, I can't split them up. I'll take them both. And Georgine looks at me, she's like, you want her too? I'm like, yeah. I can't separate them. She's like, that's great. So for 2 weeks straight, my little Lucy Lou would breathe in, and when she breathed out, she'd go. And I was like, I don't think she's acclimating. Thank you for the $10 on Avon commercial yesterday. It looked great. Diaz, thank you. And I haven't seen it. I think that's awesome. So, question to my Facebook people, because I don't think the color is showing through very well on Good Old Locals. I still have to adjust that camera. It's better, ain't it? I didn't think I was going to bring it together. Yeah, I will make a soul connection. And I loved the little tiny kitten because when my ex-husband tried to pick her up, she attacked him. It was awesome. And he's like, I don't want that cat. I'm like, this ain't about you. I want that cat. Yes, it's better. Yay. I wonder if I'll try brown. Try some brown. Brown eyeliner. And then I can't wait to use that stuff as a primer. Because it's for anti-aging, so I have this sneaking suspicion that it is going to really plump out my wrinkles. Much better. Like, hardcore. So I'm excited about it. You're an amazing pet owner. That is one thing I will admit to. This is a very good house to be a pet in. Like, your masters are home all day. They're with you all the time. Even when they're working, you're with them. I don't do outdoor stuff because there's so much predators and stuff here. If I had a big barn, I'd have cats living there, but I don't think a cat would last very long going outside here. Now, Lou used to be terrified of outside because she never went outside. But in these last few months of her life, my cat wanted to be outside. And we would walk outside with her. And my husband's like, she's losing all her senses. But she has her sense of smell still. So she couldn't see. She couldn't hear shit. And she'd just sit there in the weeds and the breeze and shut her eyes. And you'd see the breeze blowing whatever was left of her poor little old lady fur. And you can see her little nose sniffing like, oh, I was like, oh, she's so happy. That makes me so happy. Your storytelling is hilarious. You have a gift. Kristen, thank you for the 1,000 stars and forgive me. I am not on my game today. Most people who watch me will tell you there's something wrong with that bitch. And there is. I just lost my fucking baby. And for some reason, this is the day that I'm short-circuiting on being able to speak. I don't know why. I came on here the day after she died, like a boss. I was almost crying the whole time. But I was able to do some makeup, or maybe it was skincare, and talk and chill. And then today I come on and it's a major brain fart. So I appreciate the stars and the compliment, especially since, you know, I am feeling very off my game. But look at it this way. We hang out like 3 times a week, people. Whatever. We might as well be friends at this point. And friends see each other up and down, right? Sometimes you guys are cunts to me. And I let it slide. I'm like, hey. And then someone's like, sorry, I was on my period yesterday. Whatever. I get it. I don't have like a really block happy finger. I don't. Because there'll be someone that's always been cool and they'll be like kind of a cunt one day. I'm like, we're human. It happens. 9 times out of 10, that person's like, yo, sorry. I was like really fucked up yesterday. I had no chocolate. I'm like, I hear you. Or I'm like menopausal and, you know I was being a dick. I'm like, I love it when people can admit it. Like, hey, I was a dick. Nancy, for your cat fund, you'll definitely know when you're ready. Thanks. I'm seriously taking this money that you guys send. I've already thought about it. I'm like, I need a new litter box. I threw out Lou's litter box. I had to go. I couldn't look at it. I kept her food dishes and stuff, but you don't need some old fucking litter box anyway. I'll need a cat tower because they'll be young. And I was thinking over here by this big window looking at the mountains, there's so much for them to look at here. Pre-workout mix, he wrestles. Do you think that would be healthy to start him out this early? A pre-workout? Not my husband takes pre-workouts. I don't. I drink coffee. I will say, as I get older, I am feeling the lag. So I understand at that age, you should have the energy to work out. And I do not believe you that you don't. Unless you're some fucking like Eeyore, emo kid. I don't believe you don't have the energy. Pre-workout is great for your late 30s, 40s, 50s, where you just cannot like get things going. But, I mean, it's just a boost of caffeine. So, I just don't understand at all why a child would need that when you're at, like, peak cell rejuvenation and being peak game. Country Maine Mom. You know, Country Maine Mom, thank you so much for the tip. These are my locals, people. And every time I see Country Maine Mom, I think of Country Maine Coon. I just want a Maine Coon kid. I just want them. They're so beautiful. They're so big and floofy, and they're like dogs, and I love them so much. I want one. I want one. A few years ago, I put on deposit on one, and the lady was weird. And I just didn't trust her, and I wasn't going to give her a dime more of my money. I was like, look, I'm assuming you ripped me off. She used to sell out here in Montana and, like, moved to Illinois or something, but she was, like, fucking with me. Like, I was like, yeah, this is the cat I want, blah, blah, blah. It was cheaper then. This is years ago. And she's like, okay, well, what about this? And what about that? And what if I change this? And do you want one now instead of, like, in a year? And I was like, okay, I don't trust this person. So my husband was like, oh yeah, he was in Maine. He was like, so what's going on with that? I'm like, well, I'm just going to count this as a loss because I do not trust this person. Like, all my spidey senses were going off and was just like, dude, you cannot trust this bitch. Do not trust this bitch. So she's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, I don't fucking trust you. That's what's the matter. I'm looking for a good mascara because I can't wear my other mascaras because I ripped out all my eyelashes. So I kind of need... I don't know where it went. I guess I'm going to have to use a shitty mascara. And I mean, you're really going to be able to tell, which sucks because I have no eyelashes. Where's my love at first lash? Will you guys come over and find my stuff? Can someone help me? Can one of you in my stream just come over for a second? Oh, hey, I put it in the wrong drawer. Yay, yay, yay. I found it. You got that feel. That is a good breeder, not getting ripped off for sure. Well, you know, whatever. No, wrestlers have terrible habits. My brother used to sleep in garbage bags to sweat it out. That's so fucking unhealthy. That's so unhealthy, guys. Do you understand how unhealthy that is? I'm going to sleep. And he was a kid. Oh. You know, I knew a couple people lost a pet. People like I know really well, and I reached out to them. I was like, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. And then I lose a pet and I hear nothing. And I told my husband, and he's like, baby, that's why we don't have very many friends. It's like, people fucking suck. I'm like, yeah, you're right. They really do. You don't want them to. You want to believe people are like considerate and compassionate and give a shit, but they don't. So I was talking to my husband, like, I haven't been home in a few years, since January 2020, right? And when you go home, there's people you want to see. Now, there's always like, let's say it's like a high school reunion. There's old friends that you haven't seen in years, that you haven't nurtured a relationship with, that you barely really know anymore and you don't really talk to. And then there's the people who nurture a relationship with you. But then someone in your group is always like, oh, but you have to give all your time to these people who don't care about you when you're gone. But when you're there, you're like, but what about the people who care about me when I'm gone? Like, I want to devote more time in being with them and seeing them than I do people who essentially ignore my existence. Does that make sense? But, like, if my husband were to visit home, he hasn't been home in 7 years. Everyone would want to see him. Well, one, he's autistic. That is sensory overload. I remember when we got married and his mom was like, oh my God, you need to fly home. We'll have a big party and everyone will be in the autistic guy's face. You have autism. We don't care. Hello. And I'm like, no. Like, that would fucking break him. I went to his brother's wedding. He was the best man. At the end of the wedding, I have never seen a man more broken. He kept his shit together because he loves his brother. He loves his brother. But this man was fucking broken from sensory overload. And he laid his head right here. And he sighed at the end of the night. He said, please don't ever do this to me. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't ever want a wedding. I don't ever want what that was. I'm like, oh, thanks, Andrea. I was like, I hear you. Because it broke him. Because he was so broken. It took weeks for this man to, like, get better from it. Get what I mean? Like, if you know anyone that's truly on the spectrum, he is a high functioning autistic. Like, he can keep his shit together. I'm very proud of him. But when there's, even if it's people he loves, he can only see them in small groups. So everyone always wants, oh, we haven't seen you in a while. We want this big function. No, my husband would work better in like, hey, example, let's just swing by your uncle's house and say hi to your aunt and uncle and your cousin. Cool. But if it's like, hey, we're having this huge barbecue where everyone's coming, and if you know anything about autistic people, it's called sensory overload, and it's the noise. Like, if we go to a loud restaurant, I'll look over at my husband, and I'm always like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, you know, if we're quick here. Because even for me, I am not autistic, right? I'm going to see. Yep, I knew that eyelash was going to fall. I'm not autistic, but I'm like, okay, this is way too loud for me. So how is this for him? And then I learned something about homes. So I watched this autistic guy basically explain how his home is his sanctuary to escape, that he needs an escape. So let's say we went, and his mom's house is like Grand Central Station now. Like, his sister lives there with her husband half the time, and he has kids and she has, it's a lot of people. And he's like, I wouldn't be able to stay there. Like, when we were moving, and his mom, thinking we were moving, and his mom's like, you could come stay here for a little bit. And my husband's like, I can't live in a house with 12 people with nowhere to escape. I absolutely cannot do that. Like, I hear you. Oh, I don't need a gift. Hey, my good friends checked on me, dude. My friend Lauren that had this picture of Sergeant Pepper made for me, she was just like, oh, sweetheart, sent me the cutest pictures of her little baby, cute little hobbit baby. It was like, here's pictures of this glorious, cute baby, and I love you. Like, she was here a few years ago, and she knew. She looked at my cat, and she looked at me. And this was a few years ago, and she's like, oh, honey, are you getting ready for this? And I'm like, my cat will never die. She's too mean to die. And she's like, oh, she just doesn't really look that good. I'm like, but she's just old. And she's like, I just want you to, like, start preparing yourself. So that shook me, because she knew my cat in LA. So when she, like, looked at my cat and was like, dude, I have no eyelashes left. Look at this. None. Thank God for love at first lash. Can we just, you can't see this on locals, and I'm sorry, I'm going to adjust. But can we appreciate how green these weird colors from the Icon palette are making my eyes look? I wonder how long this makeup's going to last. Yesterday, I did Instagram makeup, and my makeup lasted a little bit, and I was a little surprised and impressed. I was. All right. Let's do under eye primer, FMG. I'm not on the spectrum, and I get overwhelmed. I get it. I'm not on the spectrum. I'm just an extrovert introvert. So if you met me, I'm totally cool with it. But then I hit a wall. So, like, if I'm meeting a ton of people, like Comic-Con, I could walk around for an hour and then I go hide for an hour. And everyone's like, where the fuck did you go? And I'm, like, literally in some abandoned room somewhere on the loading docks, just, like, checked out. Yay! Let's use this as a primer. So this is the new Isonox Ultimate Rejuvenating Multi-Corrector. You can put it on your fine lines and wrinkles, but it also said that it could serve as a primer. And you know me, I'm like, that can be a primer. Let's go. Let's go. Because, like, my skin's all falling off from crying. So let's do anything we can do to plump out wrinkles. I can already tell I love this ooey goo on my face. I can already tell. Isn't that wonderful? That makes me so happy. It's very ooey goo. Okay. I can understand why this could be a primer. So my hopes are, because it's so thick, it's going to push out my fine lines and wrinkles. I already like the way it feels. Oh, my face is so moisturized. You can already see it. I like this eye color, guys. What the fuck? What the fuck? How is this good on my face? This is the Icon palette. For those on locals, this is like super yellow. Super yellow. And it has really made my eyes pop in the best of ways. I'm actually impressed. I haven't used it in a little bit. I've been avoiding it. And here I am, like, loving this shit. It's really pretty. It's very fall. I like it. But it makes my eyes look, right? Hey, even Joe is surprised. Even Joe is surprised, kids. I feel better. Thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. I'm sorry. I have been like Eeyore. I don't mean to be. It's just my entire life has revolved around a little creature for 18 years, and I didn't realize just how much until she was gone. I had a feeling it was probably going to be the worst animal death that I've ever gone through, but it was bad. And then even my husband's like, I can't believe how much I love your cat. I'm like he got fucked up over it. I was too fucked up to notice, but when I covered her little wee face and I was like, oh, and this dude called over to see if they still had the blanket because he knows I want it. He's such a good man. But I finally like said goodbye and I covered her face with the little blanket. And, you know, I'm fucked up, so I'm not realizing he wants to say goodbye. So he's like, wait a minute. And he goes over. I can't even say it. Let's talk about how much I love this vitamin C body butter so I don't cry off my beautiful makeup. How about that? I think that's better. Yes. Okay. So we got this primer on. But he said goodbye to my baby. And it was really endearing. And that's when I realized he really loves my cat. He really loves her. He always was like, fuck this cat. Throw her off the cliff. I hope a hawk comes down and takes her away. And it was a joke. But every 2 seconds he's feeding her chicken and getting her cream. He was the one pushing back on going to the vet too. And that's when it like all came crashing down. Like he didn't want my cat to die. But when the vet was like, she's in really bad shape. This is time. Because like had he said there was a chance anything, I would have went running out of there. But he was just like, yeah. Yeah. He's like, you're at that precipice where it's only going to get really fucking bad from here. Because that morning she was going, and I'm like, I think my cat's having like a mini seizure. And she ain't good. And then she was just sitting there. I'm like, okay, we're going to the vet. We're going. All right. Match wand. I love this stuff because you can wear as little or as much as you like. I do not like thick makeup. So for me, to just wear a little tiny bit of foundation is the bee's knees. I just really enjoy not overdoing it on my face. So far I can tell you, using this as a primer, it's a little stickier, but because it's sticky, I feel like it is really hanging on to the color. Does that make sense? Onto my face. It's gooier because it's clearly treating wrinkles and shit, but it is definitely hanging on to it in a way that I wasn't expecting. How about that? Thinking about something else. Stop from crying. I'm so fucking tired of crying, guys. I didn't think I was capable of crying this much. I haven't cried this much since my grandma died. And I just lost one of my oldest friends. Now, I really ugly cried when my oldest friend died. Maybe twice. Like, fucking scream ugly cried. When I was driving my car, I thought I was going to crash. I finally had to just pull over on the side of the road because I was like, okay, like because I bottled it up and then it came out twice in like the most unbelievable ways. This has been a constant. And I was like, Matt, what the fuck? And he's like, it's because your cat is part of every moment of your life for 18 years. He's like, your friend was in your life for many years, but not every moment, not all the time. I'm like, you're right. He's like, the intensity of which you've shared your fucking life with this cat is, it's pretty hardcore. So that is why you were so sad. I'm like, okay. After I had twin boys. Oh, you know what? So my brother-in-law just had to put down his dog. And I asked my husband, how is our brother going through this? And he's like, he has 3 kids and a wife and a job. He didn't spend as much time with that dog as you do your cat. He's like, he did when he was younger. And then he had babies, and it was babies, and it's basically like Woody and Toy Story. Suddenly, the little boy's just not as interested because, got other shit to do. He's a family man with so he's able to not dwell on it because he can't. This is our match corrector stick, and this is in, what do you call it? Gelato. It is a brightening. There's also this one, which is Sherbet. And that's really good at, green is redness correction. The gelato is brightening. Guys, I forgot what the red is. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm usually really good at this, but I'm all fucked up. Hey, internet friends. I'm really fucked up today. Since I lost my mom and I cried yesterday, it took so many years. My grandma was like my mother. She lived with me. She raised me. My mom was always at work and my grandma was always home. It is what it is. My mom worked in a factory midnights, long shifts, and it was just me and grandma. So when she died, I was fucked up for years. For years. I met Matt 1 year after her death, on the anniversary of her death. And I felt like my grandma was giving me a sign. She gave me 2 signs. When I met my husband on her death anniversary, and when I knew I loved him on her birthday. It was crazy. So she died, I think, January 21st, 2014. I met him on January 21st, 2015. And then February 14th is her birthday. And on February 14th, 2015, almost a month of knowing each other and going on multitudes of dates and all this shit, he called me up and he's like, I'm not really into Valentine's Day, but it's your grandma's birthday, and why don't we go out and we talk about her? And that motherfucker finds a fine Italian restaurant and takes me to an Italian restaurant and sits there and wants to hear every single thing about my grandma. All of it. And he listened and he retained, and he would ask me questions later. He was clearly very interested in me and my life. And I was like, okay, I'm in love with him. I'm fucking in love with him. That is love. That was the night we went back to my apartment. I think we had only ever barely kissed, and I would send him out because I didn't want make-out sessions. It didn't end well. And I was like, we're monogamous, right? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, I'm making out with this guy. Yep, he's my angel. He is. He's been so good to me since my cat died. So good to me. And he's like, that really affected me. He's like, I can't imagine after 18 years of being with something like that, how it's bothering you. He's like, she's only been in my life almost 8 years. And it's the longest pet I've ever owned. My cat. And she was already 10 when he met her, which is funny. I want to see... I don't know what this would correct. The red one. Someone help me. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put on some blush, which probably won't last very long today. But you guys have been very sweet. I just hate getting emotional. Like, I don't need condolences and stuff like that. I know everyone understands loss. You know what it is? I don't like to be a downer. And I really hope I haven't been. Like, you guys come here not to be sad. Now, I was a little discombobulated in the beginning. I will fully admit my brain was not functioning. But I really hope I'm not bringing you guys down. Because life is too short for people to ho-hum. You know what I mean? Like, I'll have my moments with my husband alone where it's reddish orange. Canceling out blue tones. There you go. You did it. It was a brain fart. What would I do without you? It was a complete brain fart. And I just couldn't remember what it was. All right. Queen of Hearts. Illuminating Glow Beads. It's my favorite blush. I mean, yes, I have other blushes, but when I do really light makeup, this is my go-to because it's got a little shine to it, and I love it. But yeah, that's my thing, is I don't want to bring you guys down. Life is too short. Why can't we hang out and have a good time? Just because things are sad, like, I don't want this turning into a funeral home. You know what I mean? So I really hope that I haven't, because you guys deserve better. You know what I mean? And that's why I like the whole crying on stream. I did something completely out of character for me. My subscribers saw it. I did a video, but I wasn't on it. It was just in my cat. But I was fucking crying my eyes out, and I posted it because I was all fucked up, and that was the morning I went and killed her, right? So, I mean, put her down. You know what I mean. So I was all fucked up, and I posted it. It was like later on in the day, I'm like, fuck. I shouldn't have did that. But I did. But at least I didn't have the phone in my face like, oh, I want attention on the internet. It wasn't about me. It was about the cat. And it was like, I just wanted people to be like, look at my cat. She existed and she was fucking awesome. Look at her. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, grief sucks. It does. I just want to make sure that even in my grief that you guys come here and it's not some fucking black cloud. I don't want it to be that. I don't. Though I don't think I turned it into it at all. But I do think I had a problem with my brain today. But I feel like it's resolved itself. Alright. Glow Color Hybrid Face Mist. I'm going to seal this all in. So far, I am in love with this as a primer. I would not use this as a primer if you don't like a thicker, almost stickiness to your face. But for me, the way it's canceled out wrinkles and has, like, plumped them, I'm fucking fine with it. No one's touching my face anyway. Grief is the price of love, right? It is. And when you hurt that bad, but you're willing to love again, that's the beauty of being human. Let's set that makeup. That's the beauty. So you're just willing to keep loving. I love how my husband, Mr. Autism's like, dogs and cats are not capable of love. I'm like, what about dog? He's like, it's loyalty. It's the pack. It's the evolution of following the leader of the pack. It's not love. It's devotion and loyalty, because that is how they are programmed. I'm like, okay, Mr. Autistic, not helping. No filter. He's like, the cat was fond of you and she very much liked you, but I do not believe cats are capable of love. And love is definitely what our species is capable of that others aren't as much. Fondness, maybe. A little sadness, sure. But the depth of what we are able to love things, I don't believe other creatures go through it. Know what I mean? But logic could comfort with grief. I know. He was totally right. Totally right. So yeah, grief is worth it. It's worth it. But I'll tell you, my grief from my grandma was at one point, it was so horrible. I felt like I just couldn't go on with my life. But then it was almost as if all that bitterness and pain started getting peppered with sweetness. And no, my memories of her don't hurt me to the point where I crumple to the floor. And sometimes, once in a blue moon, I'll have a cry like that. Because, like, I don't have that person to call anymore to be excited about things in my life. I don't have that cheerleader anymore that, like, cares about what I do. I don't have someone to be like, oh my gosh, I did this at work, or I won this award, and have someone actually be excited for me or care in any way, my husband. But that, like, nurturing, that part of my life is gone. And anyone who's lost, like, a mother figurehead in their life, you understand. Your cheerleader, the person who thinks, you know, you selling Avon is just as important and as amazing as you being on TV. I don't have that. I only have one painting of my one cat. Oh, motherfucker! The nail came out of the wall and it fell far behind my desk. My friend had this commissioned for me. It doesn't make sense to get one of my cat, Lucy, like this, because she's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. She's not Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So this makes sense for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Lucy needs something different. Maybe her, like, dancing around the Milky Way. She needs something different. I'll figure it out. But that's what I miss most about my grandma. Is someone that I could call that asked me nothing but questions about my life. It was never about her. I had to pry it out of her. It was never about her. She just cared so much about me and just wanted to know everything that I was doing. And it wasn't just me, because she was really proud of other people. Like, I'd ask her how she was doing. She'd give me reports on all my cousins, and I was like, no, Grandma, you. What are you doing? Though I loved hearing about everyone, but at the end I'm like, you're not skirting out of this. You're going to tell me what you're doing, woman. Lip butter in Rendezvous. I love this lip butter. It's very ooey gooey. Lucy wrapped in high thread count sheets with caviar. That's a little bit more like it. She was a fucking princess. Who walked around with her head, that picture with her head on my shoulder, like, yeah. I had carried her like a baby, and she'd put her head there like, this is great. I'm just going to walk around with my mom. Mom's going to do everything for me. It's great. So, my verdict on using that as a primer, the rejuvenating multi-corrector, if you're younger, I will say no. If you're older and you've got a lot of the fine lines and wrinkles thing going on, I think you're going to love this as a primer. I love it. It is thicker. You can feel it on your skin, but I don't give a shit. Because look at, like, there's no crow's feet and shit, so I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Guys, my husband's going to start streaming in just a little bit. I do hope you guys tune in. It is the brand new Isonox Ultimate Rejuvenating Multi-Corrector, and it said on the description, can be used as a primer. So I was like, let's see. So I used it, and yes, it's thicker. So what I'm saying is, like, if you want to touch your face all day, you're going to be like, it's a little thicker and I feel it. But, I mean, look at my skin. So the trade-off is there's not a bunch of fucking wrinkles popping. So I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? This is the Icon palette that I'm wearing today. And I promise you guys, on my locals, I am going to fix the color correction. But everyone on Facebook, I just want to thank everyone for being cool, for coming, for dealing with my brain fart today. I want to thank Kristen Beth Brown and Rosemary Adams and Keith, Molly Hartzell, and Sandra Miller. You guys, thank you for the stars. And then over here on my locals, My little locals crew. Tina Stamper, Diaz 79, Nancy Yep. Is that, can I call you Nancy Yep? And Country Maine Mom. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate it. And I will put it towards a big cat tower and all the cat things I'm going to need when it happens. However it happens. I need sheetrock spackle. Good for you, Renee. Oh my God. Betty White. We did a show with each other. She was sitting next to me. And the makeup artist was putting makeup on me. And she said, well, you best bust out some spackle for this bitch because she's busted. She was so dirty. I have a feeling that if I really got to know her, I might not have liked her, but she's fucking Betty White. So, you know, respect. But she was so unnecessarily filthy that you guys come in here and you're like, oh my God, your mouth. Betty White has... She's still alive? I think she... No, did she die? It's the worst mouth I've ever heard on fucking planet Earth. Yeah, I believe she died. It is so terrible. It is so bad. And it is extreme. And it's a little off-putting. Oh, Crystal, you can do it, dude. It's better than watching them, like, suffer. This is how I see it. In hospice, I was there alone when the nurse looked at me and she's like, I think I'm going to give her another shot of morphine and this might be the one that pushes her over. So it's like putting a cat down. My cat just getting the sleepy drug almost died. Like, I don't even think they needed to give him the hardcore, you know, because she was almost dead. So when you're that old, you just go. You just go. But I'm out of here. I'm going to pour my husband's coffee. Thank you guys for hanging out. Have a fucking happy Friday. Thanks for cheering me up. It's kind of nice. And I look human, which is the best part. So, goodbye, Facebook.